There's a baby birdie in the nesty. This is in the rafters above the back porch. There's a bird nest there. Ain't he cute? I'm not Mama, I can't feed you. Hey Dragonlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Skye, and I typically write paranormal romance under the name Hegyes. I'm hanging out outside today because there's a bit of a breeze going right now, and it's a little bit cooler out here than it is in my house at the moment. Plus, like, people are watching TV, people are cooking. It's just easier at the moment. Plus, I've got some lovely deer friends behind me. I don't know how well you can see them because the sun might be making a glare on them. And I've got some dog friends out here with me too. They're breathing really hard, Hob. I don't understand this. Why do you gotta breathe so hard? But, yeah. Today is the first day in July, which means it's the first day of my Right War. I declared Right War. I will link that video down in the description if you're interested in checking that out. There is a bird. I just saw it fly past my head, making a bunch of noise. Anyways, hi Jester. But so I'm working on two main projects this quarter. It's the Right War is a 90-day writing challenge where I personally am trying to write, edit, and publish a book in 90 days. Others who are doing it can follow the original rules of the person I stole the idea from, which is literally just to write a book in 90 days. There's nothing about publishing it, but that's for me. That's what I'm doing. And basically what happens is I have a main project, is the one I'm trying to write in 90 days, publish in 90 days, edit in 90 days. And then there's a secondary project. And what happens is if I meet my word count goals for the first project, I am allowed to write word count goals on the second project. That's the basics of it. I did not do any writing today. I am a kind of plotzer. For the longest time, I was an outliner. However, I have discovered, especially for the past couple years, and I will be doing a video on this in the future, my past processes versus my current process. But lately, what has been happening is I will do a detailed outline, and then I'll get about a quarter to halfway through that outline and veer away from it completely. So what's the point in outlining if I'm never going to use it? So I'm not going to be outlining these projects. Sort of. The first project, my main project, is A Modernism of Magic. It is 12 stories separated in 5 to 7 chapters for each story. And the way it's working is that they're all set in the same world. And there is a cameo appearance from the character in the last story. The character who's the main character in the last story makes cameo appearances in all 12. But each of the 12 stories are about different characters completely. And that character is the only one that kind of cameos in each of them. And not for very long in each of them either. We'll see. But the way it's working is, originally I was thinking I would spend the first few days in July outlining all 12 stories. I have actually already changed my mind about that just because of working on it today. What I wanted to do was get like character names, get the main plot, and stuff like that. Now, this story I have been wanting to work on for about 4-ish years now. It is based off a couple of Tumblr posts that were kind of shared on Facebook. I'm never on Tumblr almost, so I don't know exactly how much it has grown since then. But the images that I have saved to my computers from like 4 years ago, we're talking about like a cafe run by fairies, werewolves for doctors, therapy pets, basically. Therapy pet doctors, they're werewolves. Vampires who can smell bloodborne diseases. Witches who can find cell phones, technology, stuff like that with spells. Stuff like that. That is what the gist of this world is. Something has happened. There's been a cataclysmic event in the world, and all of these magical, fantastical races have popped up, both among humans and among animal life. I have a whole Pinterest board dedicated to like creatures in this world, and by creatures I mean like little pigeon griffins and stuff like that, like redonkulous stuff. Why are you breathing so hard, Hop? Anyways, so I've had ideas going off and on for like 4-ish years. I've just never had a chance to actually work on it, and this seemed like the perfect time to work on it, so that's what I'm working on. And I was outlining it today. I've only done like a 20-minute sprint so far. It's 7:30 in the evening. Doesn't get dark until almost 10, by the way, at least for right now. And instead of outlining all 12 stories and then writing them, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the first one, write it, edit it, outline the second one, write it, edit it, outline the third one, so on and so forth. And there's 2 reasons for this. One is that I wanted to publish this story in Kindle Vella. And 2, because I'm not a heavy outliner and each of these stories is their own self-contained tale, I think that would just be the easiest way to go. Plus, that means I don't have to avoid writing for the next couple of days while I outline each of these stories. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got in just a 20-minute sprint, I've got most of the first story plotted. I've got names of characters chosen. I have got my location chosen. I have gotten pretty much the idea of the entire story chosen, and that's pretty much all I need in order for this outline. I may do 2 or 3 more sprints tonight and actually write the first chapter and get my first 1,500 words. We'll see. The next thing I'll be doing is eating dinner because I'm really hungry and I need to take more meds because my face is starting to hurt. I had 7 teeth pulled the other day. I had my wisdom teeth pulled and they found some extra wisdom teeth. So that's always fun. I had little itty bitty, like one of my wisdom teeth was this big and then I had little itty bitty baby wisdom teeth hiding behind them. So they pulled 7 teeth from my mouth and my face on this side hurts. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, so the first one is outlined and I'm ready to write it, and I might even do that today, or at least a chapter or 2 today. But here's the tools that I'm using to track my writing progress. I know I've shown them on Instagram, but I wanted to show you guys like a video. This is just like a cheap photo album from like Walmart that I have all my stickers stored in. And they're all labeled. I used an index card behind them to label them after I found I couldn't this was part of a sticker pack. So I had to cut them all out to separate them and couldn't write on them very well. Sorry for the dog barking. But so I got index cards to label them what all they're for. And then I have this bad boy. This is a traveler's notebook cover that I made a while ago, back in 2018. When I first started bullet journaling, actually. The notebooks back then were smaller. This is definitely not made for notebooks of this size. It was definitely made for smaller notebooks. But I've got my current bullet journal, which is an Exceed A5 dotted journal in here. And then I have my Heroes journal in here. Like I said, they barely fit, but I'm making it work. And my bullet journal I use to track what I've done for the day. I have mentioned in the past a couple of times that I don't kind of plan ahead in my bullet journal. I use my phone calendar for that, and I don't even use Google Calendar. I use a phone calendar app like this. Don't know how well you can see it. I've changed the color of it, but I use that app in order to track daily things. It's actually, since I transferred phones, I haven't switched all my calendar stuff, so it's looking rather blank right now. But that's what I do to track like future events, because it's got the reminders and alarms and stuff. Oops, I turned the camera on when I waved shake it. But my bullet journal is more for like, this is what we did today versus planning ahead kind of thing. And then as far as the Heroes journal goes, I've already started working in today's. I've got some more things I need to fill out in it. And then I need to plot out tomorrow's. And what I do is I plot out the following day in pencil. And on the day, I start erasing and writing in pen. So like some of this stuff has already been switched to pen. I can already tell you this, just from looking at my watch, I have not done 10,000 steps. In fact, I have not even done 2,000 yet. I'm sitting at 1,793. But I've not been at the house most of today, so... And currently there's still boxes sitting on top of the treadmill that I had hoped to move by now and just haven't moved. So I suspect the exercise 10,000 steps, which is my first goal. Again, I mentioned this in my Right War video, but I suspect that one's not happening today. Not if I want to write, which I kind of do. But yeah, even doing just like I had written down a Modernism Magic outline chapters 1 through 5. If each story is 5 to 7 chapters and I don't do any real heavy outlining, like I said, I'm done outlining the first story, I can already check that off. My third thing to seize the day is Damned and Deadly, which is the third book in the Damned and Dangerous quartet. I wrote down to figure out the main plot points, and I've got that done already for the most part. I do still need to do a couple other things with that, but like I didn't realize it until I found the notebook and the papers that I was working with, but I've already done most of that, so even though that wasn't done today, I can almost check that off because I'm pretty certain I'm actually done with that. I just didn't realize it at the time. So yeah, that's how I'm using this. Oh, I forgot to put the bookmark back in. This is just a bookmark that came with the Heroes Journal. It's got the Yeti on it, and if you flip it over, it's got a habit tracker on it. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to track. Right now I have water, 6 bottles, because I Googled how much water you're supposed to drink a day, and then I calculated how many bottles I'd have to drink depending on the size of the bottle. So I have 6 bottles written down. Vitamins, which I take daily, and then meds, which I take daily right now, especially with the pain that's going on with my face. And I take allergy meds too. And then of course exercise on here. But I'm really bad about habit trackers, and I don't even know what habits to put on it, so they're all still penciled in because I don't know. What page was I? There it is. But I'm just using this, even though I've got the yellow marker in the Heroes Journal as far as like the page marker goes, and I've got these purple ones for the bullet journal. I don't use them. So yeah, these are this is my main staple for this project at this time, is all of this. I'll be using that to track stuff and see what I'm working on and how it's going. And then I'm using the calendar to track stuff that I'm doing on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what I'm doing and how I've done so far. All I have to do now, the 20-minute sprint I did the outlining on, I wrote in a notebook because I was at the splash park with my kids, and my computer was almost dead anyway, so I didn't write anything on my computer, so I do have to transfer all of my notes to the computer, which is probably what I'll be doing later this evening. Instead of getting any actual words done, I'll be transferring my notes from the notebook to my computer. I'm using Mac Mardigan, which is my MacBook Air. It's actually Mac Mardigan the second. And for those who are curious, I name all of my electronics, all of them, pretty much. And I like to use character names from like movies and TV shows. Mac Mardigan is a MacBook Air. And he's based off the character Mad Mardigan from Willow. And a friend of mine, Amy, actually said you should call it Mac Mardigan. Just change the D to a C, and there you go. And it's just, every Mac of mine is probably going to be Mac Mardigan, whatever the next. My first Mac lasted me, got it in 2019, I believe, so it lasted me 3 years. And I just got this new one this year to replace it, so hopefully I can make it last a couple years, few years. My other one was 10 years old. It was allowed. I got it used and it was allowed to die, I promise. And my girls still use it. It's just it doesn't last very long without being plugged in, and it goes really, really slow. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing so far. Yeah, I'll check in with you guys later tomorrow to see where we stand then. And maybe I'll have an overview shot of this big beefy boy to show you what all I'm doing with it as far as like tracking stuff goes. So yeah. See you guys next day. Hey Dragonlings, it's day 2 of the Right War, and I figured I'd clear up some possible miscommunication before it even starts. So I realized after I finished filming yesterday, more like closer today, that I may have kind of misleading information in the 2 videos. Because in my original Right War video, I talked about the fact that the main project was going to be 12 stories, and they were all going to be like 3,000 to 5,000 words long, which made it around between 35,000, 60,000, something like that. Anyways, it was going to be semi-short to short, novella to novel kind of thing, short novel kind of thing, and that's no longer the case. And the reason that's no longer the case is because I've been talking to a couple other authors who are also doing Kindle Vella, who have more contact with Amazon representatives than I do, and they're saying something that I've actually been noticing within the publishing world anyway, and the sweet spot for chapter length is around 1,500 words. Now, the reason for that is because it's easy enough for a reader to read that they can read a whole bunch of chapters at a time and feel like they're getting somewhere in the book. And it's also short enough that it doesn't strain any readers who are like, just one more chapter before bed. It gives them a quick and easy chapter they can just zoom right through and be done with it. So I have seen this for myself because I do it as a reader. So I understand the point, but it means that the people on Amazon are also pushing Kindle Vella stories. While each of the chapters can be anywhere from 600 words to 5,000 words, they want that sweet spot, that between around 1,500 words per chapter. So, with my stories being 3,000 to 5,000 words long, if I split that up into 1,500 word chunks, I've got only 2 to 3 chapters per short story. So I decided that I was going to increase that out a little bit and make it 5 to 7 chapters per story. And each of those chapters are going to be about 1,500 words long, which means that each story will be anywhere from 7,500 words long to 10,000 words long in the end. So that would increase my daily word count for the 90-day challenge if I was trying to like keep the same writing days. However, what I've decided to do is, in order to keep my same writing amount, instead of increasing my daily word count, I'm going to keep my daily word count the same, and I'll just write on the weekends. Now, it has been a while since I've written almost anything. Like, I can still count on my fingers how many times in the past 3 months that I've written a single word. April, May, June. Yeah, 3 months. And it's not a lot, honestly. I've done a couple short stories. One was just a flash fiction. One was part of a flash fiction I never finished. One was a short story. And then I've mostly just done editing on other various stories that I've turned into various anthologies. But I haven't actually written anything. And so, like, the past couple of days, I have been struggling to get words out. I have been struggling to write. But I know myself well enough to know that once I get into the habit of writing again, and once I get into the flow, it will not take me very long to knock out 1,500 words per day. Which means I might even get more words than that. It's just a matter of me getting back into the habit of doing it. So I'm also going to be doing my 1,500 words, or at least aiming for 1,500 words on the weekends. I probably won't film those days just because setting up the camera is a whole ordeal. But I will go ahead and try to get some words on those days. And what I'll do is I'll do like a word count update at the bottom of the screen each week on my vlogs, so that you can see where I'm at in my word wars versus where I should be. And I will use the minimum word count of where I should be, not the maximum word count. That way, if I go over, it's just gravy, basically. So that should clear up any misconceptions there, because I did have misleading information in those videos because they counteract each other. But now that you're caught up, I haven't done any writing today. I've been kind of thinking about the story off and on. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I've got Mac Mardigan II here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of writing sprints. I need to go get my phone so that I can set my timer. I am using the Forest app in order to time myself, and I'm going to try to grow a forest. I think yesterday I grew a pumpkin. So yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to go get my phone. I need to set my timer. I need to go ahead and get to writing. So let's get started. So I changed my mind again. I think what I'm going to do is, I told you that I have it sort of kind of not plotted out. I have basically the ideas for the characters and the main idea of each story. So I'm going to show you a clip real quick of what I mean. But like, I'm going to input all that information from like my old notes from like whenever I wrote them 4-ish years ago. And I'm going to put that in here. I'll show you the one I have so far from the plotting I did yesterday. Basically, I fleshed out the idea that I already had, because what I had was just like a one-sentence thing. But I'm going to input the rest of the one-sentence things in here first before I actually start writing anything. And I'll go ahead and set myself the timer for that. And that'll be part of my outlining stage, basically. That's what I'm going to do first. So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was Kindle Vella. I mentioned in my Right War video that I wanted to publish a Modernism of Magic, a chapter or two at a time, through Kindle Vella. And I'm still partially thinking about that. However, over the past weekend, I was sent a TikTok that made me kind of question that. It was about Kindle Vella's terms and conditions, and the fact that when they announced that they were going to be releasing it to readers in July, they changed their terms and conditions. I don't know, because I was not at that stage of publication yet. I hadn't even really looked into the terms and conditions of Kindle Vella. But the way I understand it is that when you publish with Kindle Vella, you have to have at least 10 chapters up before you are ready to go live, because they want that consistency. And then if you try to take down your Kindle Vella story, the way they want it to work is that they will keep it up for 60 days, I believe. I'm not positive. Before that they actually release the full rights to you, because of the fact that anyone who's purchased chapters in it needs to be able to finish those chapters before it goes bye-bye, basically. It gives them 60 days to finish reading the chapters they've purchased and paid tokens for, or credits for, or whatever it is that Kindle Vella is using for readers, in order to finish it before you get your rights back. Now, the TikTok was talking about the part that I am questioning. The TikTok mentioned that if you put over 10 chapters on Kindle Vella, those chapters are theirs now. They own all rights to them completely. And I didn't see anything in the terms and conditions that said that, but it does still make me wary of publishing with Kindle Vella. So I'm going to go ahead and post that TikTok in the description below, as well as the link to the terms and conditions for Kindle Vella. And I want your guys' opinion. I want to know what you think. Do you think it's a gamble to publish with Kindle Vella because they own all rights to it? Or do you think that someone was just misinterpreting what those said? I figured it was like Kindle Unlimited, in the fact that as long as you are published with Kindle Vella, they don't want your story anywhere else. It is exclusive to them. But after 60 days with them, after you choose to unpublish it, or I think it's either 30 or 60 days, and I think it's 60. But after those 60 days, if you choose to unpublish it, they still have rights for those 60 days afterwards, and after that, you are allowed to publish it anywhere. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Am I wrong? Am I misinterpreting it? Or is the TikTok wrong at misinterpreting it? I'm curious to know. Okay, I'm being bad, but I only have about 8 minutes remaining, so I figured I'd show you this. This is what I'm doing exactly. If it will kind of focus on it. Let's see if it'll focus on the screen. It's starting to get a little dark out. Anyways, so what I'm doing is I have inputted all my notes for each of the 12 stories that I have so far. And then I've technically got 13 because I've got the Cataclysm one, which talks about what happened to the world that allowed all these races to pop up. Now, I do have my files already sorted out. Like I have 5 chapters for each one and 7 for the first one because I did say 5 to 7 chapters, but anyways, so I have 5 chapters set up for each one except for the first one, which has 7. And even Cataclysm, I have a couple of chapters set up right now section-wise because I'll see as I build on that what I'm going to do. I'm still working out what happened with the Cataclysm that brought everything forward. There was nothing about it in any of my notes except for the fact that there was a Cataclysm. But yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and do a quick show of what I'm doing. And then when you click on this, there is actually some more. Oh, that's actually the writing I've already done in this one. And I think the same thing for that one. That's the writing I've already done with that one. Okay. And basically what I have so far, I can go ahead and show this to you. It says, remember the stories your great-grandmother used to tell you as a child? The ones about fairies and little people who run loose through the garden? Remember the tales of magic, of adventure, and romance? Remember how everyone thought they were just stories? What if they weren't? What if they were real? So it's actually starting to get dark out here. By the way, it's 10 o'clock at night. And as you can see, there's still light out. Like, let me see if I can show you the sunset. It's not going to show very well, but that's the sunset. It's still setting. It's 10 o'clock at night, guys. It's still setting. Yeah, this is my life. It doesn't even get dark until, and it just started getting dark. So it doesn't even start getting dark until really around 10 o'clock at night. So one last thing, I showed you guys this. This is where I've got the plot for the main stories, but this is one of the things I like about Scrivener. I'm also able to plot out the individual chapters. So I said I plotted out the chapters on a piece of paper and I transferred everything to the computer. I forgot to show you guys this. This is actually my plot outline for the first story. This is as much as I'm going to do outline-wise. It's just a couple sentences talking about the main points of every chapter. So when I click on the draft file, this shows you the ideas for all 12 stories. And then when I click on the A Shot of Charisma, which is the first story, it shows you my plot ideas for each individual chapter. But yeah, that's how I use Scrivener. The draft is this book as a whole. Then I've got each of the chapters broken down by, in this case, I've got each of the stories broken down into folders, and then in those folders are individual documents, which are the individual chapters. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to show you real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up now because, like I said, it is getting dark. I'm still gonna work on this a little bit more because I got enough light I can see, but I can't film. As you can see, my face is probably really dark right now, and I apologize for that. But yeah, so I know this vlog is technically really long, but I had a lot of information I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to clarify a couple of things that I misspoke about or like I changed my mind about. But my major question for you guys, if you have made it this far in my video, is have you read the terms and conditions for Kindle Vella? I did talk about it yesterday a little bit. I will include the TikTok that kind of, in my opinion, it causes fear-mongering. You guys might have a different opinion, and I want to know that opinion, so let me know. I'm going to link to the terms and conditions for Kindle Vella as well as that TikTok video. And I want you to tell me, am I misunderstanding what it says? Is it, in fact, once you publish with Kindle Vella, like it's theirs forever? Because if that is the case, I do not want to publish with Kindle Vella. If that is the case, this might be my first story that goes wide. We'll see. I do know that I have the 2 series I've got going on right now, Damned and Dangerous Quartet and Fire and Brimstone, are both with KDP, but they are probably, as of this moment, and I may change my mind, as of this moment, they are going to be my only ones that are KDP. After this, I'm pretty much taking everything wide because I want it available to everyone, and I've heard really good things about going wide from people, and now that I have ISBNs, I have no problem going wide. But what is your opinion? What do you guys think of Kindle Vella? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys all in my next vlog. Bye, Dragonlings.